What's going on, guys? Welcome back to TFD. We're back with another banger, and man, this one was tough to watch. The Indiana Fever just took a rough L against the Golden State Valkyries, and yeah, it was ugly. We got to break this one down, cause there's a lot to unpack. So let's head out west to Golden State, where the Fever looked totally out of sync. Let's get into it. Look, I'll be one of the first to say it. This is one of those games you wish you could skip past. Whatever's going on behind the scenes with Coach Steph White, I pray she's good and doing okay, but something definitely fell off with this Fever squad. Maybe it was the travel, maybe it was the energy, maybe they just got outplayed. But facts are facts. This was the worst we've seen Caitlin Clark all season. No rhythm, no confidence. Just couldn't buy a bucket, man. I kept telling y'all, the Valkyries aren't a team to sleep on. These girls hoop, bro. They play like a real unit. Shout out to their coach, because she had them ready from the opening tip. They ain't even have Tim Figman suited up, and they still ran the Fever out the gym. They were aggressive. They executed. They hit their shots. They ran that motion offense to perfection, and I'm telling you, every time teams run that against the Fever, they look lost out there. Caitlin especially. She was out of sorts. It's like she couldn't read the defense at all tonight. Let's take a quick peek at the box score, though. Aaliyah Boston, 30 minutes, 17 points, 12 boards. Double-double. She showed up. Lexi Hull, man, I don't know where she was. 33 minutes, and all she gave us was 3 points. Natasha Howard, decent effort. 13 points in 24 minutes. Kelsey Mitchell, you already know, always solid. 16 points, doing what she can. And then Caitlin Clark, 11 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. Now on paper, it don't look that bad, right? But if you watch this game, you saw the truth. Caitlin played bad. Let's just be real. This was her worst performance yet. And this ain't hate. This is holding her to the standard we know she's capable of. She looked frustrated. The Valkyries fans were loud and not in her favor. Maybe for the first time in her career, she had a packed crowd rooting against her. And they let her know it. Every time Golden State hit a shot, that building erupted. She wasn't ready for that heat. So yeah, overall, this was a tough one. But shout out to Golden State, man. They were locked in from the jump. No excuses. Fever got to regroup, figure this out, and get back to work. That's it for now, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Was this just an off night, or are the Fever getting exposed? Before the game, Coach Natalie Nas gave us just a little glimpse into what her team was gearing up to do. She didn't come right out and say it, but you could tell there was a clear focus shutting down Caitlin Clark. You could hear it in her tone, the way she talked about being disciplined on the perimeter and taking away early offense. That's coach speak for we're not letting Caitlin cook tonight. So right then and there, we kind of knew the defensive game plan was going to revolve around disrupting Caitlin's rhythm and forcing the Fever to beat them another way.
What is your message to your team about slowing her down?
Yeah, obviously you got to pick her up higher. She shoots from the logo, so you can't pick her up at the logo just because, again, that's a super comfortable shot. It's almost like a layup to her. There's her going to her left. So we just got to be aware. And it's just not about just an individual matchup. It's going to be a team effort because they play so fast. So we're going to be in constant communication, picking her up, whoever's closest. And then, obviously, physicality. Like, you put some physicality on her, both her and even Kelsey Mitchell. We can't ignore, what type of elite shooter she is as well. So it's going to be a team effort tonight.
Hey, Natalie.
So yeah, there you have it. Some of what Coach Natalie Nas said before tip-off about the game plan for guarding Caitlin Clark. And you got to give it to M, man. They executed. She mentioned needing to force Caitlin left, and that lines up with the scouting report. Clark loves driving right and then fading left for that step-back three, and the Valkyries clearly studied the tape. That's high-level prep and even higher-level execution. Props to Golden State for sticking to the game plan and making life tough for Clark from the jump. Now, switching over to the Fever, couple things here. Rebounding continues to be a major issue. They got beat on the glass again, and that's been a recurring problem. DeWanna Bonner, man, I don't know what's going on with her. I hope everything is okay on the personal side, but her absence was definitely felt. She's that long, physical presence who can box out, crash boards, and offer help defense. And of course, you can't ignore the fact that head coach Stephanie White wasn't on the sidelines. Now, I know a lot of people were hyped about Austin Kelly stepping in earlier this season, and rightfully so, but losing your head coach at a crucial time like this matters. We still don't have an official update, but based on what Mike Breen said during the NBA Finals, mentioning Stephanie White's partner Lisa Salter's mother being very ill, it's not hard to make the connection. All prayers up for Coach White and her family. The word is she's expected back soon, and Fever fans will definitely want her leadership back out there.
They amped up their intensity, and I think for us, we took that punch, and it took a little bit too late to be able to get some points back on the board, and so we really needed to get some stops because they were just doing a great job executing, so we just got to be better in that area.
All right, Aaliyah, you've been out here before playing against Stanford. Last time I remember you out here. So how does it feel coming out here as a pro player and expansion team out here in the San Francisco Bay? So what does it feel like playing in this scenario?
Yeah, I think it's great. Obviously great for the league. Obviously great for the fans. I think they have a great fan base out here. They bring a lot of energy, and so when you're thinking about growing women's sports, this is a great example of it.
Hi guys, Kendra Andrews, ESPN. I don't want you to speak for Caitlin, but you guys have seen a lot of defenses go up against her. Did you see anything that Golden State did in particular? Did she say anything about something that they were doing in particular that may have slowed her a bit tonight?
I think that overall it's not about just Caitlin specifically. I thought it was about our entire group. We were soft. We just weren't. They made us pay by just being stronger, being tougher, 50-50 balls, deflections, getting the passing lanes. That's just a piece of just being aggressive and having an ability to like look at our best player and be like, nah, they gonna be aggressive. And I think that we allowed it. We kind of tucked our tail a little bit tonight on the aggression side, and I think that's our down play right now. We have to learn how to see rounds for what they is. That's one thing, but be aggressive and stop being so soft. And I think that as a group, we just collectively allowed too much.
Kelsey kind of just mentioned being soft in the second half, going from that 13-point lead to ultimately losing. Just what did you see from that perspective?
We just didn't play with a sense of urgency out the locker room. I think that turned the ball over 5 times in the first 6 or 7 possessions. We had 8 in the third quarter, and I think that deflates you when you're trying to build up on a lead. You know, we talked about this team is tough as nails, all right, and they never quit playing. It's in the film. We didn't do a great job of playing personnel, all right, and taking care of first things first at the point of attack. Yeah, but I agree with her in that statement. You know, we didn't bring it for whatever reason out of the locker room, and then that starts to build confidence. All right, when teams clawing and chipping away at a lead, all right, we got to be better in that regard.
Yeah, Caitlin had an off shooting night too today. Just what did Golden State do so well to defend her?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, they did a really good job of being physical with her. That's going to be the game plan, you know, all year long. I thought early on we were moving it. I think we started the game with 13 assists on 14 made baskets, and, you know, we got away from that in the second half, and I think that the lack of ball movement kind of allowed them to just, you know, really beat her up. When we move it, a lot of good stuff happens. We're able to punch gaps, get to our sprays, and it gets back to her. That's when she's going to get the good looks. But they did a good job of being physical and making it tough for her at the point.
There were a lot of Fever fans in attendance tonight, a lot of them specifically for Caitlin Clark. What does them being here mean to you and to the team?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, when we're on the road and, you know, we're able to have fans in attendance, that's a huge boost for us. You know, we just, for whatever reason, in the second half, we didn't have it, right, to be able to give them a good showing. But, you know, really appreciate their support, you know, especially on the road in an environment like this.